Hi FlossTube Stitchers. I'm going to start tonight's video with fabric and see how long this part of the video takes so that I know how much else I can add. I do have a longer fair video already set for the end, so I know that that chunk of time is spoken for. And I know that whatever I don't have time for, I can just show next week, but the fabric is the most important part. So I'm going to start with Lapin loops. It's the most recent order that I got. It's the second time that I've ordered from her, but only the first through the website. I had brought back some fabric from Market in March, but it was based on what she had left and not necessarily the counts or the colors that I would have liked at that time. So I thought this is a good chance to try some colors that look like they might be popular across social media, or maybe some colors that her mom has used in her designs, and that would be Becky Noland of Lucy Beam Love in Stitches, or colors that would be good for Halloween, because I knew they probably wouldn't come until August, and that's when I feel like there's a ramp up in people stitching for Halloween. So the dyer behind Lapin Loops is Megan Shepherd, and I forgot to ask her when I've been corresponding with her how she came up with the name for her company. So I did a little bit of research on my own, and there's no about the designer or anything like that on her website. So I went to Instagram, and it appears that she started in 2018 by advertising some things that she was selling in her Etsy shop under the name Lapin Loops. And they were crocheted ragdoll bunnies. I think there were some other styles too, but I noticed the bunnies right away. So I thought, oh, well, maybe she had an affinity for rabbits. Maybe she has a pet rabbit. I don't know. But she came up with that name for her business. And when she started dyeing fabric in 2020, it probably made sense to just keep the same name, since that's how she represented herself on social media and that's how her customers would know her. So that's what I'm thinking, but I will double check the next time I have a conversation with her. Okay, I have a DMC color or colors set aside to show you with each colorway. And I wanted to explain that when I choose a color to show you, sometimes it's a week's dye works because there is no DMC that's perfect for the color. But I like to use DMC when I can, because I figure that's what most of you have at home. And if you don't have that particular color, maybe you have the DMC thread color card, or you could at least look it up. I actually have in my photo library a color picture of each page so that I don't have to keep dragging home my color card from the shop in case I need it. And I have them in my ready to post album, so that I know that's one that I don't keep a lot of pictures in. I just have my most recent things that I want to refer to. And so I have it in there, so it's always, I can always find it quicker. So what I do is I hold up the range of fabric in all of the counts and styles in that color. And I hold it up to the proper page in the DMC color card. And then I look for what I'm calling a vibe. So it may not match it exactly, and it's certainly not going to match all of the shades across a hand-dyed fiber, because that, or hand-dyed fabric, which would be impossible. So I'm looking for what I call a vibe, and you can look at that DMC color and get an idea of the main tone of the fabric. So because these are new colors to me that I haven't had before, I'm going to show you the range of fabrics that I got in that colorway. And it's alphabetical so that I wouldn't forget anything. And then for the other fabrics, I may do it in a different way. But this is Campfire Smoke. And I did post a picture of all of these fabrics on social media for my show and tell Saturday, and some of them are spoken for, but I still wanted to show you because I could certainly reorder anything that sells out quickly. I thought campfire smoke would be a really pretty color for a number of different things. It would be good for Halloween if you don't like stitching on dark colors. It would be good for winter as long as there wasn't too much white because it's not that dark. It's also light enough to be used for maybe Easter or spring designs. So I matched up to 3752 and I got it in 18 Aida and 28 Cashel linen. I don't know why I only got 2 of these, maybe because I had gray coming from another company as well. When I order fabric, let me tell you, I spend way too much time looking at my inventory of what colorways I have in each count fabric. Then I look at what seems to be popular with new designs that have come out, even if it's not from that company, just like what kind of tones people are using. I try to get some neutrals, but in this case, the last couple times I ordered fabric, I have been focusing on Halloween because I knew they probably wouldn't come until August and people might be ramping up their stitching for that holiday. So this is really pretty, and the next time I order it, I will be getting it in more counts. So my bad, but it is what it is, and I have my reasons. Okay, I also want to explain that I'm sitting in a kind of a confined area tonight, and I'm going to put these fabrics after I show them down on my carpet, but there is a piece of plastic there. So it's actually going on plastic, not the floor. Okay, so don't panic. Alrighty, so that was campfire smoke. The next fabric color is really unusual, and I've seen other designers use this or stitchers change a fabric to this particular name. It's called Grandpa's Shop Rag, and there's a lot of variation to it. The main color that I matched it up to is 3722. This color is only available in linen because she explained on her website that the color does not come out the same on the cotton Aida or the polyester rayon even weave. And so she's not even going to offer it because it doesn't look anything the same. And I respect that. So it's kind of funky. Let's see, let me show you the back of the 36 because that shows even more variation. So doesn't it kind of look like an oily rag from a garage or something after somebody's been working on their car? So I got this in 32 and 36. I don't sell that much 40. I'm happy to order it, but people have not been buying it from me. So I'm not focusing on 40. And I already had some 28 that I had purchased previously that is not selling. So I decided just to get 32 and 36. But again, anything can be ordered if I know there's a sale for it. Grandpa's Shop Rag. And I should back up and say that all of these started off as half yards. And as I explained on social media, the first person who wants it gets to say how it's cut. So if the first person wants a 1/4 yard, then the second person also gets a 1/4 yard or an 1/8 if they ask for it. If the first person wants to custom cut it, then I kind of go by that. I don't want to cut it into quarters right away because the first customer might need a 20 by 20 square, in which case a 1/4 wouldn't quite be big enough. So I kind of don't want to cut it until I see what the first need is going to be. Okay, then the next color is something that I was intrigued by from the website. I don't even want to use the word disappointed, but because I had thought of this as a Halloween color, when it came in, I was expecting it to be darker. So my customer, Kathy K, on Saturday said, "It's really pretty for Easter." And I said, "I know, but I kind of was thinking about it for Halloween. So we'll see what you think." I matched it up to the new low number line of DMC, 25, 26, and 27. And I got this in 20 Ada. Let me just look at this first, because once I hold it up, I won't be able to double check. Is that 20? Yes, 20 and 14 Ada. And then for the photo that I put on social media, I put all the tags inside. 32 Lugana and 32 linen. So I'm going to space these apart a little bit so that you can see a little bit of difference in all of the 4 counts. And if you look Medusa's Gaze up on the Lapin Loops page, you'll see that it shows it to be, you know, maybe more of a medium tone rather than a light tone. It is really pretty in person. So it's going to be fine, and I know it's all going to sell. In fact, I believe that the 20, one of them might already be spoken for, one of the Adas. I'm really happy that I focused on Ada and Lugana for this order, because that seems to be what people are attracted to right now. I do sell a lot of Ada and Lugana, and I've had a lot of visitors that come in that say their local store doesn't, that they focus on higher counts of linen. And I just feel like they're missing a whole section of the population there. So anyway, that was Medusa's Gaze. The next one is Mothman. Luckily, this will make up for the fact that the other one was light, because this is also kind of a plum shade. So I got this in 20 count, 20 and 16 Ada and 32 Lugana, which came out less messy and a little more gray, but I matched up the main tone of the fabric to DMC 28. So let me space these apart so that maybe you can tell as I'm holding them up that the top one is the Lugana, so it's not quite as messy. This is the back of the Ada, so that's pretty cool for Halloween. And then if you don't like quite as much variation, usually when you order Lugana, it's not quite as stark or dark. Okay, so that was Mothman. Then the next color is Old Man's Beard, and it is really pretty, but it's a little more green than gray. And I didn't go back to check the website to see if I was just remembering it wrong. It's intriguing, and I think it would work for different holidays. It might also work for summer things like mermaids and beach scenes, as well as what I was thinking in my head it would be good for. So it's called Old Man's Beard, and I got this in 16 Ada and 28 Lugana and 36 linen. So you can see I'm trying to mix it up a little bit. I matched it up to DMC 927. So it's showing up a little lighter and not as green on camera. I think maybe the picture that I showed on Facebook and Instagram was a little more accurate. It's a little bit brighter, but if you look at the 927, that'll give you a good clue for like the main color running through it. So Old Man's Beard. And then the last color is something else that I thought was intriguing and might be good for Halloween or fall. I matched it up to DMC 152, although there are some darker shades, and I got it in 14 Ada, and is this 18 or 20? 18, 14 and 18, and then 32 Lugana. And in this one, the Lugana does have some nice variation to it. So I think this also would be really cool for Halloween, or something more prim, because it doesn't have like really super bright orangey tones. Sorry, I don't like that. Let's see, let me show you the back of one of the Adas. Let's see. It's a little darker in person. Again, I think the picture was pretty accurate that I posted. So that is my Lapin loops. Next is my Picture This Plus order. This is what's remaining after pulling the special requests. And because this is a company that's been around for a while and you're probably more familiar with them, and also because I know a lot of stitchers have very specific taste and know exactly what count and style fabric they prefer to work on, I'm going to show these to you by count. So in 14, I have Ale, which is a really popular neutral across all styles and counts, and Sterling, which is another popular color that I know we have at least 1 or 2 models done on. I think Bonnie has used this for a tiny town. And then I got some crystals that I hope will sell for Halloween projects. Crystal is the name that Marilyn gives the fabric that she dyes over the opalescent Zweigart. So this is Crystal Haunted. And Crystal Pickled, which is my favorite green for Halloween, but it also really would be good for Easter too. And Crystal Voodoo. Let's see, I'm going to show you the back side too, because it shows more of the plummy color. Then we have 16 Heartland, which is really one of the best neutrals out there. And I think it started as a special request or a then we have 16 Heartland, which I believe was first designed for a Lizzie Kate Sal back in the day and has turned out to be really one of the best neutrals out there. And then of course I had to get Murky, which is really good for Halloween, and we have at least 2 models done on this. And then 16 Voodoo, but not in the sparkle, in case somebody, you know, has trouble stitching on the sparkle. It can be distracting to your eyes. Then in 18, I got Quartz and Wren, which is another really good neutral. And I'm trying to beef up my stock of 18 and 20 count Aida. All right, then in Lugana, I have 28 Heartland and 32 Murky. $32 Sterling, and 32 Voodoo. Then in 28 Cashel, I got Crystal Pickled. In 32 Belfast, I got Heartland. And I also got Heartland in 36, because again, this is a really good neutral and I wanted it in a few different counts. We received 2 designer automatics this week. The first I'm going to show you is from Bent Creek. Hook, Line, and Bobber Flag, which is part of a little flag series. And then Whale Song, which at first glance you think that might be the alphabet, but it's not. It's a little song. Don't worry, I won't sing it. But two really cute designs for summer. And also, in addition to their popular series, pun intended, Pop of the Ocean, which includes the 20 count linen and number 5 pearl cotton. And then from Heart and Hand, you've probably seen this all over social media, but she came out with her quilted tiny town, which apparently was inspired by a road trip that she took through Amish country on her way to a design retreat, I think it was. And then the companion quilted frill. And her 30th annual Wee Santa. And she writes on the back, when my girls were little, we read a lot of nursery rhymes together. A favorite was this one. Christmas is coming, the goose is getting fat. Please put a penny in the old man's hat. But she says in her description of this that the geese don't even look worried. Very cute. And I would like to use this as my giveaway this week. Just tell me if you've ever stitched one of her Santas. And I'm also going to gift you with the 2 main colors for Santa himself, Licorice Red and Hunter. And if you don't have the other hand-dyed colors in your stash, you could always use the plain DMC because they're much smaller portions of the design. And then the last bit of news is the giveaway from last week, Halloween tiny tags from Dirty Annie's Southern Style is going to Edith McClanahan. All right, we'll see you next week.
going to show off her frisbee skills. Woo! Let's try that again. There we go. All right, guys. Let's see if maybe can beat Sophia. Let's cheer real loud for her. 3, 2, 1, go! Woo! Let's get loud. Let's do quite the warm-up to beat Mr. Room. Woo! He's got springs for legs, so I bet he can do it. Alright guys, you know the drill. Cheer him on. Alright guys, let's get loud. And he does it. He is going to be using this box jump like a launch pad to hopefully soar over the jump and hopefully land safely into my arms. We're gonna get it all set up and ready to go because it needs to be super precise. And whenever you're ready, I'm gonna show him his reward for doing this jump, which is a piece of bacon. Only the best for the most dangerous stunts. All right, guys, let's get loud for Rumor, the loudest you have ever been.
I love me. I love me. I don't know about you. I love me. I love me. I love me.
They gon' say all kinds of things.
Beautiful form over. Again, if you see stuff you like, please let them know.
They try to play me like a game.
These are arm movies.
Like to see me looking at me saying, "Oh, baby, just wait."
I love me.
These are the foot tricks. He barks a lot.
Everybody say,
And there's some roll over the leg.
I'm sexy in my clothes. I ain't waiting on nobody's phone. You don't know me, baby, that's your love.
Y'all are clapping.
Can tell by the way I walk.
like to see me looking at me saying, "Oh, baby, just wait."
Oh, I love me. I love me. I love you. I love me.
Everybody say,
I love me.
Alright, you're setting up for a backward skip.
I love all y'all.
This is a lot harder than it looks, and it looks difficult. Requires perfect timing and a lot of trust between our dog and I.